Alright. Right. Well, I'm glad. It sounds like a nice day today. So the weather, the climate in my place, it's rainy and it's kind of a wet, kind of a little humidity climate recently for maybe the last 2 days. So sounds okay comparing the other days in India or in my hometown because we are experiencing all day sunny. It's a kind of a all day summer. So only the last 2 to 3 days we are experiencing a bit of a rain and some kind of a cloudy climate. So I'm a bit jealous people who live in Changchun because you are experiencing the cold and weather conditions. Well, then I miss that weather conditions lifestyle. Where I feel you are pretty happy and blessed and lucky. Well, thank you for listening. Please type yes if you can hear me. Otherwise, I should check my microphone. Good afternoon, Alan. Could you type yes if you can hear me? Well, thank you, Alan. This week we try to uh, we, we try to reach out from introduction to a good paragraph, something like that. We have introduced a strategy that works well to convince an examiner to give you a high band score because it's nothing but a strategy. That's what I can understand, how they grade you, how they assess your writing based on a strategy you adapt, and then the information you are familiar with. So if you have a variety of information which is relevant to the given task, if you could achieve logically the logic adapted through a strategy, then you need not doubt or you need not worry what band you are going to get. Obviously, it could be beyond 7 band, which proves you are proficient in language skills, I mean, writing task. So, what matters to me, as far as my understanding, language is nothing but information. And of the information, 80% of your information is nothing but your examples, evidence, and so on. So, when it comes to writing a paragraph, because what we see, an essay is nothing but a combination of 2 to 3 paragraphs or 4 paragraphs. So, each paragraph, what it contains, how to draft a paragraph easier or better. So that's what we are going to discuss or learn and practice this afternoon. Last week, I remember how to write introductions. So when it comes to task 2, we needed to uh, write a kind of a introduction which needs a hook which brings attention. In other words, some kind of an impression that could strike an examiner mind to spend their time with care reading your task 2, reading your essay. So similarly, task 1, we simply try to rephrase. We simply try to rephrase the question, which means we are not copying the question. Try to rephrase and prove the examiner we have understood what is the question in task 1. In task 2, we come up with a hookup slogan or question, kind of a stimulation we bring into the examiner's mind. That's the business. Why we write kind of an attractive statements or hookup questions. Well then, so let's work with that strategy and the paragraph and so on. It's all about information and a flow. That's what it matters. Because when a flow where you can learn, when you listen to a story, you will see the flow. If you miss the flow, you cannot enjoy the story. Therefore, what it matters, your information, have the flow to listen or have the flow to read, kind of a connected from one idea to another idea, which gives you intuitively a sense to read. Do not break, do not stop in the middle. So such kind of a flow, what it needs. Let's give it a try to understand a flow. Reading an essay or a small article which helps you to understand how flow makes us to read, and from there I can help you what is a claim, what is the main idea the author or a writer trying to persuade or trying to prove with his writing. So that's what we will begin with. So this right. So this is a kind of an essay or an article or a blog post, is to understand the flow to. So till then, so this, if you can see the hookup, or in other words, initiating a climb, because what I need you to work with the strategy, learn and integrate your writing with a strategy or a framework, what we call it, Toolman framework, have got three primary element minimum: claim, evidence and warrant. Now, having checked the flow in reading this, you can also find what is the claim that author is trying to prove, and what evidence have the author mentioned to prove or to support his claim, so that we can persuade the audience. So that's what an essay. Well, I tried reading as slow as I can, checking with the timer that that only reaches 10 minutes if you read with comfortable speed. So I can read along with you. So when I happened to read, it took me maximum 10 minutes. So I sit 11 minutes. I need you to have a careful reading. I need you to enjoy reading like a novel. It's just like an information. It's all about men. It's something interesting because any class I teach, every class I see more number of girls than the boys in the classroom. So what I guess, your class have more number of girls. That's what I guess. So to understand about men's mental health, or the attitude, or the ego, or some kind of a maturity, or how weak about men. So some kind of a curiosity may bring this to you if you happen to read. So the the title it says, the hookup it says, can't guys just learn to fight for friendship? Because boys or men, they love friends. They want to hang out with friends. They travel, they drink, they work together. But if there is a conflict between two friends and once it is compromised, they will not fight to retain their friendship. So that's what many men in the US and India or across everywhere, even in my experience, uh, I made a friend with during my freshman year 2003. From 2019, one of my best friend, we have never had conflict from 2003 till 2019, but there was one conflict last year for about a small matters that made us completely forget about our friendship. It's just evaporated. It's a matter of a small issue. For example, maybe I can tell you for a few minutes. My friend asked me about 500, but unfortunately I didn't have money that day. I mean, he asked me about 2,000 to 5,000, but all I had only 500. And I told him I don't have any money. All I have only 500. And he asked me, okay, pay me that 500. Then I told him I am in a meeting, maybe I can give you a call back. But he insisted me, no, you have to pay me that 500 you have in your bank. It's an emergency. But I told him I am in the middle of a meeting. As soon as it meeting ends, I'll give you a call back. I cannot come out and then do these transactions. But he didn't listen. He repeatedly kept calling on and on, on and on. When I was in the middle of a meeting, the phone was in silent mode, so I was happy with this. Then at the evening, I happened to check my motorbike. It's going to be emptied, so I needed to refuel my motorbike. So it's not a good idea to transfer that 500. But I didn't have the mindset to call back, having checked more than 30 missed calls and giving a call back saying I cannot send this, I cannot transfer this money. Then that's it. Our friendship just evaporated and he blocked me, and I didn't have that mindset to call back and apologize. So similarly, there is an article, can't guys just learn to fight for a friendship? For about 11 minutes, I will read along with you so that we can read together. If you are accessing phone, it could be small for you to read. If you have a laptop, you can read. So let me start with ready, steady, go. Okay. I hope you could be able to read this. So the purpose is to understand the flow in writing. I hope you're able to manage reading that article or an essay. It's a kind of a flow you could have. I'm sorry, but that's my neighbor. So you could be experiencing a flow that helps you to continue reading about men's nature, about friendship. I mean, to fight for friendship, it's not happening with men. So, which means he has one main idea. That's it. There's one main idea he wants the readers or listeners to accept in order to make us to persuade or accept what he has come up with. An idea is what we call it a topic sentence, or what we call it a claim, or a thesis statement. So where do you think? So these are all what I can tell you is a hookup. All these things, the question to kind of, in other words, it's a kind of a initiating a claim. So what we are trying is to identify where the topic sentence or the claim that he wants us to accept him. I accept him because, being a man, I have experienced a similar situation. Now, I lost my friend. So 2003 to 2019, such a long time friendship. We have never had some sort of a conflict. We always support one another, and we travel, we get drunk, and we go to cinema, and then we do shopping, and so we visit friends' home. So such good friends. Some small misunderstanding, our friendship just evaporated. So with my personal assumption, with my experience, I feel like I'm connected with the claim or main idea. So where is the main idea or a topic sentence, if you could ask me, in here? Men no longer know how to fight. That's the topic sentence he wants to persuade us. Similarly, that's what an essay writing. Similarly, in every paragraph, there may be only one main idea. And what about all others? See, for example, what about all others? When there is a main idea, there should be some evidence to support. We should be able to identify what evidence that the author provide in order to convince us. Because I have my own experience to agree with the author, but what about you? Being a girl or being a very young boy, do you agree with that? Many may not, but what the evidence he provided, Barack Obama, and some other evidences. Let me share with you. I have identified a few evidences, and I'm glad to share with you that. See, this is one main idea. Men no longer know how to fight, as a topic sentence. And what we got to support, what the author have got to support, is these are the key evidence. End of friendship between the author and Dan, that's the key example as an evidence. And an end of Ben's friend and Jeremy and Alex as another evidence. President Obama, lack of intimacy with other people, that's and my wife strengthened friendship with her close friend. So having got these four evidences, let me help you to check. 1, 2, 3. See, it's not even 4 pages, it's 3 pages. It's all because there are 4 evidences to express, along with expressing his own personal experience, his own personal assumption about the main idea. See, that's what in here, what we can check. Well, with this, now we have an idea what it sounds like a flow, and every flow that comes when we confirm what are we trying to prove, that's what we call it, a main idea. So we should be familiar with the main idea, only then we can work with relevant evidence or information. Well, with this in mind, let's get into join the lesson where we can understand what some grammar elements may be essential, maybe it's a kind of a common sense. For example, articles, it looks smaller but sounds a common sense, but we commit mistakes. And then singular and plural, we possibly commit some mistakes. And then maybe the most important thing is passive, because we are writing something objectively about an essay or about an issue to find a possible solution. Therefore, there should be something objective. Anything objectively you handle, we use passive and past tense, and that's it, the maximum we happen to check in a paragraph. Well, let's take a look. IELTS writing, how to draft a good paragraph. Since we are familiar with what sounds at writing an introduction, and now we are going to familiarize how to write a topic sentence, and how this topic sentence help us to draft a paragraph. And what is a paragraph? What's in this? That's what. So I'm going to set you about 2 minutes. Okay. The one who is able to join us in 2 minutes, they will be able to see the full slide on their laptop or on phone. So through reading that essay or an article, we have understood it's all because of the author is trying to prove one main idea. In order to prove one main idea, he came up with 4 evidence that makes him to write a long essay or an article. So what is it? Men no longer know how to fight. What is the hookup? Can't guys just learn to fight? That's some kind of a stimulation that comes. What's in this? Why not? So we should be able to pay attention to it. So as we have practiced writing introductions, now let's practice and familiarize about paragraphs. Essays are nothing but a combination of paragraphs. Each paragraph carry one main idea, just like that. But fluency is a name. Why don't you write your name? All right, if you love it, there is no problem to me. Right, that's it. So what we have got is 9, 10. I think we should better start right away. So others could be joining us soon. Right. So let's start from something simple, nothing complex. It's a kind of an unfamiliarity, if you could ask me. Ready? Some quick, responsive questions. See, it's all about pronouns. My sister and I are intelligent. It's a kind of a reflection or recollecting our memory, yeah. Because when we write an essay, we unknowingly commit some simple mistakes that we don't bother, we don't mind pretty much, but an examiner will see it. There is a connection is missing because of this. So your band score may go down. We try to eliminate this. So pronouns, articles, singular and plurals and passives are some common sense that we should pay attention to, care. Well, let me end this. I hope all of you could come up with the right answer. Yes, that is. So what we called it, that's a pronoun. Let's see what grammar component could be this. The dog plays with me. So what pronouns should be a suitable one? Because it's not fine if you repeat the dog on and on if you happen to write an essay. Okay, let me check. Yes, it is. The dog is not sounding. The dog is kind of not a human kind. So only a humankind we say he or she, and which is non-humankind we named it. I hope now you have learned. I mean you have learned already. Maybe it's some kind of a unfamiliarity. Right. Now that's it. Now we have come to our business about writing a paragraph. So this is a combination. This is a complete paragraph. paragraph I have got the possible title. See the main idea or a topic sentence in here after writing introductions or a hookup. So men's higher average pay is justified because there is a compensating differential for less attractive working conditions. So in order to persuade this, because an examiner will only see where is the main idea, it should be better for him to identify if it's on top of the paragraph, because he didn't have time to look up where is the main idea either in the middle or in conclusion. Because if a person who enjoys reading, love reading, then it's okay, you can keep the claim in conclusions. But what he is doing what he is doing is a job. He is paid each essay, that each person's task 1, task 2. If he corrects, he's paid about 20 yuan or more, or 10 yuan per essay. So he wanted to make as much as money, but he has the limitations. You cannot assess and grade or evaluate more than 100 essays in a day. So, but anyone who wants to do the job, wants to complete the task as quick as possible, that's what an examiner is paying attention, because he could be sitting in an office or in an examination room. He may not feel comfortable staying long there, so we cannot expect him to search where the main idea we have acknowledged. So in order to support the examiner, we would better drop the main idea as a topic sentence. Therefore, so if there is one main idea, see this number of words and lines are nothing but evidence. But it should be good, it should be really giving credibility. Your examiner will see your essay have your essay have credibility, because the examples you have provided, where that you have learned from. You have learned from the book called Institute of Economic Affairs, page number 45 to 66, on a topic, on an article title, Should We Mind the Gap? Gender Pay Differentials, and also written in 2008 and Shackleton or so. If you could give this, you're not writing completely like this, you can add this, you can convert this. It is learned or according to Shackleton, published on an article like that, which means literally you are adding them as a beginning statement for producing evidence. Therefore, your examiner will see this main idea and the evidence is relevant, and then it's reliable, and you are acknowledging or giving credit where this evidence comes from, which makes the examiner satisfied and meeting that, okay, main idea and evidence is relevant, reliable, because the book and author reliable, and so on, which makes him convinced. Therefore, there is a task response, there is a cohesion and a coherence, and there is a lexical resource, and accuracy naturally will come, because you are paraphrasing the evidence that you have learned from somewhere. So this is how a paragraph. And all we needed to see this, write strategically. First, a main idea, that's what we call it, a claim. And then nothing but evidence. If you want, you can, if you need more information, you can write your assumption about your main idea that is relevant to the given task. So that's what people use in the timed test. It's only 40 minutes. It's only 40 minutes. Within the 40 minutes, if you work with this Toolman framework, you should be able to convince. And an examiner will see the main idea and evidence. If it's relevant, then you are graded. And remember one thing, Cambridge assessment is based on a positive aspect, not based on your mistakes. Your grade assessed, your band is given based on your right sentences, correct sentences, how logically connected. That's what they have given rubrics to prove, to persuade and to prove us they are what we call it, they are transparent and objective based on a positive result oriented assessment. That is the one key difference between a high school assessment and then the Cambridge assessment. It's based on our positive responses than the negative. For example, the mistakes we commit in grammar, the mistakes we commit with spelling, but their grade is based on the positive approach. Well, let's give it a try. Which of the following sequence makes a good paragraph? Remember, a claim or a topic sentence, and then everything else is an evidence. Which of the following is a good paragraph? Because this could be familiar information for you, because I have never experienced snow and driving on an icy road. So for you this will benefit. So let me end this so that we familiarizing the claim and evidence. Absolutely, yes, that's it. Because I have no knowledge of this IC and the steps and on, but I thought you should be very well with the icy and snowy and the roads and so on, tire chains and freeze and so on. So what matters in here, we should be able to write well only the information is familiar to our everyday life. If you could ask me to pick the right thing, I should be taking more time to identify where the climb or topic sentence, and then but for me it's easy because I know a paragraph should start with a climb, but I just check quickly, there is a climb, then others should follow. Firstly, secondly, and thirdly, it's easy to guess. Okay. Well, that's okay. It's based on a strategy. If you apply, you can pick up as easier as you can, because all others are firstly, secondly, next, and finally. Usually, it's a kind of a sum up. Therefore, where is the climb? Driving in winter, especially on a snowy icy road, can be less troublesome if you can take a few simple precautions. Now let me check, having that climb evidence in mind, if you are able to. So those sounds like more number of words are available in the paragraph, but there is some misunderstanding, or maybe some kind of flow missing when an examiner try to attempt. Well, that's it. Okay, let me end this and check. See, no connectors, bad use of connectors, and horrible punctuation. Excellent. Yeah. See, since now you believe, four of us think no examples, which means that now you have the mindset we needed to provide evidence if you want to prove anything. That's what an essay writing that works. And moreover, writing is a process. It cannot be learned overnight. You need to learn and read every single day. Only then you will have the flow that comes in writing. It's not about having knowledge of grammar, having knowledge of vocabulary. These two will not help, because writing is time consuming. But we what the money we invest, 3,000 yuan, you have to reach it, you have to complete it in 40 minutes. So therefore you need that reading habit, or if you don't have a reading habit, you need to listen or watch and try to relate and use them as an evidence, and then you can reach out in 40 minutes. So that's what I'm saying. It's not an overnight job to go and do the tick mark and then come back home, but it's not that's how it works. It works when you make a habit writing every single day. You will naturally use the connectors so that it makes sense when you read it after some time aloud. Mark the characteristics of a topic sentence, in other words, a claim or a thesis statement. It's the first sentence of a paragraph. It contains an example. It introduces the main idea of the paragraph. It summarizes what the paragraph is about. You should include dear sir and so on. So let me check what's your understanding. So having gone through or working with claim and evidence, well, that's enough. So let's learn from one another what could be the characteristics. Yes. So a topic sentence or a claim, it's the first sentence. That's what writing a paragraph, what we call it a topic sentence. When you treat them as a claim, you can keep it in the middle or conclusion, but you treat them as a topic sentence. It summarizes what the paragraph about. It introduces the main idea of it. Good. So these are all, these evidence, this is not, it sounds like something else. So having gone through all this, let me check what's your understanding about the paragraph. Well, is that enough? A set of words that complete in itself containing a subject, verb, object, a unit of grammatical, and a group of sentences that are related. See, a paragraph is a group of sentences that are related, one main topic, one main idea. So a paragraph should not exceed more than one idea is the key here. Maybe 2 lines is your idea and rest all others or just evidence and your personal assumption. Okay, this could be an easy question. First sentence. Now we are clear it is a topic sentence. Well then, as we have learned what is a topic sentence or a claim or a thesis statement, now check the topic sentence is missing. Environmentalist led by such veterans Paul Ulrich of Stanford University says to Brown of World Health Institute believe there are four big environmental fears in today's world. First, natural resources are running out. Second, the population is ever growing, leaving less and less to eat. Third, species are becoming extinct in vast numbers. Forests are disappearing and fish stocks are collapsing. Fourth, the plants, air and water are becoming more polluted. So having understood this evidence and the topic environmental protection, if you were asked to write a main idea for this, what could be? Right, keep it in mind. Maybe I can share you the possible claim and you can check how far that is relevant. And there is another one. Again, the topic is oil protection. Each year, 1984, world oil production has exceeded new oil discoveries. In 2006, the 31 billion barrels of oil extended far exceeded the discovery of 9 billion barrels. Moreover, the world's largest oil fields were all developed between 1970s and 1979. Syed Al-Husseini, former senior Saudi oil official, reports that the annual output from the world's aging fields is falling, and offsetting this decline, the new discoveries or with more advanced strategy, extracting technologies is becoming increasingly difficult. So what sounds a topic sentence or claim? So keep this in mind. I can share with you, then you can compare. I know it's not easy. It's not an easy job in a minute that we can write a claim. It's a kind of a time consuming, I can understand. So what I'm trying to prove, a paragraph is nothing but a topic, sentence and evidence. Your paragraph could be expanded if you could acknowledge these names in the paragraph, and if you could what we call it, if you could share your personal assumption about the claim. So that's what your essay is getting expanded with a more number of words. Somebody stole my car. So this is an exercise to experience the passive. Well, allow me to share with you this. Suggested claim. This is not the only claim that you can make, but having understood all this, you can compare and well, you can compare and see the importance of a topic sentence or claim. Yes, so my car was stolen because what we see the objective way of expressing your information, so that the reader will be focused on your information than your expressions. So because what he is looking for, the information in the sense evidence, and an information which gives a main idea. So in order to convince him, we frequently use passive voice. So the clues given past simple. So I hope many of you are able to come up with. So destroys is not past simple. The one who commit mistake is always a good thing, so that they can learn from there, they will not repeat such mistakes. Says it was destroyed by. Now, what I told you is singular, plural articles, passive voice, pronouns should be carefully taken care. Can you put this glass out on the table? I hope many of you could come up with the appropriate answer. Oh my God. So one of you have come up plural. So if you put these glasses sounds plural. Not sure what makes you to prove that's a plural. Put this glass. So this will always carry a singular. These glasses out on the table, that sounds plural. So this is how we commit a small mistake, minor mistakes, to deviate or distract the examiner's reading. So ensure your examiner is enjoying your reading in terms of adapting the flow and such, avoiding such minor mistakes. Shelves? Because we are unfamiliar with chief, right? So, this kind of response possibly distract the examiner to read. Is this? I hope now you have learned the plural form of chief is chiefs. This is such an easy question. I don't think you can. That's it. So plural, more than two. So having gone through this, what I can tell you, we have experienced this writing a paragraph, what's in this paragraph, but I need you to work with, I can share you the screenshots of it, which I have come up for you to. So if you could try to practice one possible topic sentence, or claim is given for you, you can think something creative and see, just copy the writing style. That's it. Copy the method, adopt a strategy. This this practice helps you to save time and convince the examiner, which helps you to achieve your band score. So what we have learned, writing introduction deals with hook, and writing paragraph is dealing with a claim and evidence, but warrant, examples, and so on. So this is how what I wanted you to experience and familiarize in your writing. Remember, writing is just like mathematics. As long as you work with pen and paper, will help you understand and familiarize your memory to write within 40 minutes. And next week, oh God, not sure how to. Well, then next week we should be checking, we should be practicing this, planning a letter. Because writing an essay is nothing but forming paragraphs. Now, so if we complete writing essays, I mean, most probably we have reached how to draft an essay, no matter it's advantages and disadvantages, or agree or disagree, or opinion based essays. So this is the key, and there is a strategy. I need you to work with both. Only then you can achieve in 40 minutes. That's for task 2, writing essay, academic. But next week we should be working with drafting a letter, which is IELTS general training. The one who wants to go for work, or maybe not go for work, or immigrating, gets settling in that country. For example, many Indians, they work hard to get settled in Canada, because Canada is looking for human resources who aged below 35. If they are professionals, if aged below 35, they are given a passport, a citizenship in that country. So many Indians are crazy about living in Canada. Canada is a part of India, just like that. I'm not sure where Chinese would like to settle, in Canada, or UK, or Russia, or South Korea, or somewhere in Japan, or some other countries. But as far as my knowledge, my understanding, Indians are crazy about Canadians' lifestyle, to settle, to get a passport that is printed by Canadian government. Therefore, they will be focused on general training IELTS. And you too can give it a try. This is a better choice. Well, then, now it's my duty to grade and assess your writing. Let me help you share with. See, for example, 60% is a regular grade should be assessed, and this regular grade is assessed not only your midterm test, for example, what we call it midterm 1 and midterm 2, but also your essays that you can write on a given topic. For example, the names Lang, Belly, Coco, Tavia, Mike, Sign, Jasmine, you have the role to write an essay on the given topic, and every 6 of you have a unique topic. I believe you have this page with you, or Ask Study Monitor can help you share this with you. So on a topic, I need you to write an essay about 250 words, but what I recommend, if you write 300 words in the class, then you should be able to write 250 words in the exam. What would we call, not exam, in the IELTS exam. Even I can manage, but you try hard. I will evaluate your essay and give you some feedback that will help you improve your writing. Now, what we have learned is to understand how to adapt a strategy. We have understood writing introductions and writing a paragraph. So it's a combination of conclusion and others, because a conclusion is nothing but summarizing or to sum up. So you can invent as many information as you can, which is relevant to the given task. So your deadline to submit your essay maybe take 1 week. You will have 7 days. By week 11, you can hand over your essay to your study monitor. I can collect it from the study monitor. I will have to read all your essays and evaluate based on the rubrics and so on, and I can share with you in the class so that we can assess as a group, and then we learn from one another. Is a kind of a peer group assessment. Well, that's what I wanted, and there is one thing is pending. We needed to focus writing task 1. So I can think of what we call it, create a video lecture for writing task 1, or because there is a problem uploading videos on the internet at Chinese websites, because there are so many websites have been blocked by Indian government. So I'm not able to access that. If I access with VPN, uploading a huge file, it's quite a lot time consuming. So we try to extend our classes 1 or 2 weeks to practice task 1. As soon as you submit your essays on a given topic, only on a given topic, and then we will do a group assessment. Then we will try to experience with midterm 1 and midterm 2 tests in online. Well, with all this, I can say goodbye for now. I'll see you next week. Drafting letter, which is essential for everyone, not only for the IELTS exam, but also to your workplace, which is an essential communication. You should learn the basics and format, and you should be skilled to draft a letter. It's just like writing an email. Well, with all this, thank you very much. I'll see you next week. Bye, bye for now. And I need you to work with writing a claim or topic sentence. That this could be the remaining 10 minutes. There is a possible topic sentences given to you.